Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video of mine. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this makeup look on my client. And so yeah, let's get right into it. So here I am using a paintbrush from Michaels, which is only $2 and works like really well. And for her concealers, I do mix the Camouflage Concealer by e.l.f. and the Fit Me concealers by Maybelline. So I do like to combine them just so I could have a more full coverage base and so the eyebrows could pop a little bit. And I do take my time because I want the eyebrow to be perfect. So here you do see me start my other eyebrow, and if you guys don't notice, in the beginning of the brow I do like to add little fake eyebrow strokes, and I do that with my e.l.f. pomade, and the shade I believe is Espresso. So I like to make the illusion that there's like little hairs there because there wasn't enough like hairs. I do like to make the eyebrows together. So that's what you see right there. And then here you see that I messed up, but I just literally dragged down and then I fixed the error. And I don't drag the product all the way to the beginning of the brow because I do like to add a little bit of eyeshadow there to blend in as a contour. So I start the contour from the top of the brow. So next you will see me add a really bright concealer. And I do like doing this so my when I do add my eyeshadows, they could pop a little bit more. And then here I am blending it with the brush. I no longer use beauty blenders, and I'm happy because of that, because I used to always use beauty blenders. So with all the tutorial, like for the rest of the tutorial, you will not see me use beauty blenders. Now you will see me add my eyeshadow. This is what I was talking about, adding the eyeshadow at the beginning of the eyebrow. And I do like to do this so when I add the contour, it doesn't look like tacky, or I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes the nose look more snatched from the top. So now I'm going to be adding my first shade, which is a purple shade. My client was wearing purple, so that's the color we went for. And I do like to add the eyeshadow when the lid is wet. So I just make sure I blend out any, like lines or anything that may be making it look cakey. And then I blend that, and then I just start with my eyeshadow. You will see right here that I do blend that, and then that's when I add my shadow. And the key to not make your shadow look a little bit messy when first applying the product is to tap at the beginning when starting, and then with whatever is left on your brush from the eyeshadow, you continue blending. And here I'm just going back and forth on each lid, just making sure that both sides are equal. Here you do see me add my concealer. I do add the bright concealer again in the beginning, just so I could have, I don't know, just a little pop, I guess. And I'm adding that to both lids, and then I'm gonna be setting that with the beige shadow. And I hope I am making sense, because sometimes I go back to my videos and it's like, what am I talking about? So I'm trying to explain everything, but I don't know how to talk sometimes. Now to do the eyeliner, I do use a Maybelline eyeliner. It's a gel liner. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I know that it is from Maybelline. So here you see me just adding a little bit to her lid. It's not going to be perfect. I do make it more perfect once I add the lashes. So I'm just adding a little bit of the liner so I could add the black shadow in the outer corner. And if you guys see my process, I know it's not looking as great yet, but that's the thing, like that's why I don't even let my clients be in front of a mirror when I'm doing their makeup, because my makeup is seriously a process. It will look ugly until it looks pretty, so don't judge yet. So here we are adding a little bit of gold liner. I do use a little bit of eyelash glue under it so it could stay, you know, all day, so it won't like fade or anything. So yeah. And to my favorite part, the foundation. Under the foundation, I did add my moisturizer, my serum, and my primer. And they're all drugstore products, of course. And if you look at the foundation, it is a little bit more orange. But honestly, I like to do foundation a little bit darker than my client's face. Just because I like to do a reverse contour. You guys will see right now. So here I do highlight her face with a concealer 2 shades lighter than her foundation. And this is where I do add my, you know, concealers under her cheek, just so I could get that reverse contour. And then putting that concealer on the center of her forehead so it could contour the outside of her forehead. And the same with the chin, you know, so it could contour the bottom of her chin basically. And it works out really good. Once it's blended, it looks really great. So here you will see me blending out the bottom of her lid. I don't actually take it all the way up to her lid because I do add another layer of concealer to highlight even more. But I do try blending everything out, and if I see that it's way too much, I tap it on the palm of my hand just to remove any excess foundation that is not necessary. I mean concealer. So now that I blended out all my concealer on her face, I will get my foundation brush and blend everything together. So now on to my favorite part, which is carving out the top of the brows. I did use the same concealers that I concealed her face with. And then I like to leave the face, the concealer and the foundation staying there. No, not staying there. I like to let my concealer and foundation sit for a little bit just so it could like sink into her face. And I am very, very slow at doing this. You will see my hands shaking because I'm scared to mess it up. So here I am just doing it in real time. I do it very, very slowly because I want the eyebrows to be twins, you know, I want them to be perfect. So yeah, and then I do go ahead and blend that with the brush that I blended my concealer with. So now I'm going to go in with my nose contour, and you will see how the eyeshadow that I put in the beginning of my brow helped it a lot to blend in and make the nose like snatched and more narrow. And I love it. I love how the shadow blends in really good with the contour. Now the last step for my products on the face is concealing the brow with the very bright concealer just to highlight the face even more. And to get right under her eye, I am going in with a brush, a smaller brush, and then I do go in with the same brush that I blended my first concealers with. And before I set her face with powders, I'm going to make sure that there's no crease lines under her eyes. And then I'm going to set her face with a setting spray. But inside the setting spray bottle, I just put water. And to add my powder, I will be using the same concealer brush that I blended with. And I just basically add the powder brush to my setting powder. And then I dab it a little bit on the palm of my hand just so it could even out, and then I tap it in. So here you do see me adding concealer. This is the first concealer, I mean not the concealer, the bronzer, sorry. So it's the first bro, I can't even talk. It's the first bronzer that I go in with before adding a darker bronzer on the outer parts of her face. And then here I am using a blush to just highlight her face. It does have a little bit of shine to it. That's why it looks like a little bit glowy. So I'm just adding that to the apples of her cheeks and her chin and nose. So here I am going in with another set of setting spray, which again, it's just water. And then I'm going to be going in with my foundation brush and blending everything together. So now that I applied my setting spray, I am going to be using my foundation brush to blend everything together. To line her lips, I will be using a contour shade, and I'm just basically going with the outside line of her natural shape. And then in the center of her mouth, I will be adding a bright concealer and blending it out with the eyeshadow brush. Okay, so now after my two liquid shades that I added, I will be adding a gloss, which is a very nude gloss that I add just so everything could blend together. Now going in with her lashes, I do make my client look at the floor, which is easier for me. And okay, so it's easier for me just because if she closes her eyes, it does like make the eye, I don't know, just like squinty, and it doesn't let me go like really in her inner lid and her outer lid. And now this is the part where I said that the eyeliner didn't have to be perfect because I was going to perfect it once I did add her lashes. And I like to do this step just so the any lash glue or the lash band, disappears once I add that liner on top. And then I am making it a little bit thicker. So just thicker so it could be like right under the glitter. And then I'm going to be adding a little bit more of the black shadow on her outer corner. And my client was doing a photo shoot, so she wanted more of a dramatic, pop on her eyes. So we did go with lower lashes, lower individual lashes. And here they look pretty long, but I do go in and I cut them. And you have to be very patient with this because I feel like once you add individual lashes, like they have to be perfect. And I'm just adding 4 on each lower eye. So the last step was adding highlight on the tip of her nose and the center of her nose. And we are done, guys. Here is the results. I hope you guys really like this tutorial. I know I have a hard time really explaining stuff, but here is the finished look. And her photo shoot came out really amazing. I'm going to insert some pictures here. And if you guys want to keep watching more videos of this in my channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and add me on my other socials. Bye.